made their sacrifice now. Tell me what you think about equal rights for all, everywhere. Say what you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice. What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love. Why all the segregation, all are but foundation. Oh, let us unite as one. Let us unite as one. Tell me what you know about love. Tell me what you know about hate that keeps us separated. Tell me what you think about equal rights for all in every way. Say what you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice. What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love. Why all the segregation? We all are but one nation. Oh, let us unite as one. Let us unite as one. Oh, love. So many can testify. Love, oh, love. But you still can't satisfy. You keep on praying. You wish that day would come when there'll be equal rights and justice.
Good morning, everyone out there in Radio Land and those listening on via the internet and WhatsApp and Facebook. This is Inspector Shauna Francis Edwards, and I'm your host today for the Policing With You show. In our studios, I have our guest, Mr. Jordan. He's from the St. Christopher and Nevis, St. Kitts Ear and Support Authority, and he will be bringing some very informative information and perspective of what this entity entails. Mr. Jordan?
Yes, good morning everyone, on the sound of my voice. It's a pleasure to be here representing SCASPA, and my mission here today is to provide you with any information that you may not know, maybe you may have known, but you may have forgotten, so we're going to clear that up this morning. So I'll be basically just sharing with you one or two things about what we do at the port here in St. Kitts.
All right, let's get straight into the little interview section while we await callers.
Yes.
As we give them information and food for thought. Mr. Jordan, what is the meaning of SCASPA? We hear SCASPA, and most of us are not, a lot of us are not in tune with what SCASPA means.
Okay, so SCASPA speaks for itself. SCASPA definitely means the St. Christopher Ear and Support Authority. And this was established back in 1993. Prior to that, it was a separation between the Golden Rock Airport and the St. Kitts and Nevis Port Authority. But after 1993, it was connected, joined together to form one entity, which is the St. Christopher Ear and Support Authority, SCASPA.
Right, and the abbreviation for that is SCASPA.
Correct.
Right, thank you very much, Mr. Jordan. Our next question, how long have you been at SCASPA and in what capacity?
Well, it's a long journey, I started back in SCASPA in 2002.
Okay.
Where I went to the ranks up to 2016, where I resigned. I was a sergeant then in charge of the passenger checkpoint. I went to work with the Ministry of Civil Aviation, and then, as of last year, March, I returned back to SCASPA in the capacity as operations officer in charge of the passenger screening point, whole baggage screening point, Cayenne Jet Terminal, and the ID Badge office.
Wow, quite a lot of responsibilities.
Yes, and quite a number of years as well. Because my performance at the Civil Aviation Division included working at the airport. Yes. So you can combine all, and you could get maybe about 50 years. So yeah.
You're not even 50 years yet, but I understand what you mean.
Yes.
So on leaving, you would have come back and in a different capacity and a different role.
Yes, different capacity. The role basically is the same. More responsibilities.
More responsibilities.
Yes, because I'm still back at the passenger screening point and the whole baggage. But
Okay.
they added responsibilities, which is the Cayenne Jet Terminal and the Adibajo office in my capacity as operations officer.
Right. Could you explain what is this Cayenne Jet Terminal?
Now, Cayenne Jet is our FBO, and FBO stands for Fixed Base Operation.
Okay.
Now, this terminal is used to handle high-class persons, also private jets.
Okay.
Initially, it was built for private jets only, but it was extended to handle commercial aircraft as well. So if you're traveling and you don't want to go through the hassle of being at the main terminal, of having to wait in long lines and so forth, then you can just go to the Cayenne Jet.
So you have a choice.
Well, basically yes, but it comes with a cost. If you come to the main terminal, it's free. You come and you check in, but if you go to the Cayenne Jet, because of the services provided there, it comes at a cost.
So it's like a VIP treatment.
Yes, it is a VIP. So you avoid the hassle
Yes.
at a cost.
At a cost.
Yes.
Well, of course, if you have conveniences and inconveniences, it comes with a cost. So
Yes.
I would understand that.
Yes.
Okay. Each institution, or most institution, well established, they have mission statements and vision statements.
Yes.
Does CASPA have a mission statement, and could you tell us what it is?
Well, of course. We have a mission statement and we have a vision statement.
Wow.
Yes. So our vision really is to be the leading provider of secure, safe and customer-focused air and seaport services in the Caribbean. So we're striving to be number one and always be at number one. Our mission as well is to provide a safe and secure air and seaport service in accordance with international standards and best practices to ensure sustainable growth and development while exceeding customers' expectation.
Those are some great things to live by.
Yes.
The mission statement, striving to be the best. We always strive for these things. We do all in our powers to make sure that at some point in time somebody could say, boy, they've been doing good, they're doing good.
Yes.
And they're living up to their promises. And I guess that is what we want to hear from SCASPA as well, that
Correct.
people would now say, I believe that SCASPA is living up to their mission statement.
Correct.
And their vision is about achieving the best possible successes.
Correct.
So I am happy for your mission and your vision statement. In general, could you explain what are the roles of SCASPA?
Well, I think the mission statement says it all. But to sum it up in a shorter way, we are just here to facilitate economic trade,
Yes.
both locally, regionally, and internationally, for the movement of goods, ships, people, aircrafts.
Wow.
Okay, so we're not just handling ships; we're handling aircrafts as well.
As well. Yes, because
As
we
the
have
name
the
says, air
and
and
seaports.
seaports
Yes.
authority. Yeah.
I understand. Okay. What are some of the areas that at the seaport and at the airport that you control? I know you make mention about the baggage and check-in and
Yes.
all that. So could you explain or sum up that for me? The areas that you're responsible at the airports and seaports. Knowing fully well that customs have certain areas that they control as well.
Right. So the entire facility, which is the airport and the seaport, it belongs to SCASPA.
Oh.
But there are other agencies who are involved in ensuring that the day-to-day operations of our ports is paramount and adequate.
Okay.
So we need the customs, because the customs deal with border control, the checking of goods upon arrivals and departure.
Yes.
We need immigration, because we have persons going back and forth. They need to do their checks before they allow persons to enter or leave. We have the fire and rescue services at the airport. And these are necessary within SCASPA's facility to ensure that we can maintain those jets that you see coming here on a day-to-day basis, because without the fire department at the airport, we won't be able to accept certain sizes of flights. And so the entire of SCASPA's compounds is the responsibility of SCASPA. But within SCASPA's compound, we have different stakeholders. to ensure that the day-to-day operation is smooth.
Right, and they all play an important role
Very, very important
in the
role.
delivery of the service
Yes.
that we get.
Yes.
All right. Okay, I know that there are certain codes that SCASPA has to meet and might have signed up to and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Could you tell me what is the ISPS code?
ISPS code. So the ISPS code came about after an amendment to the SOLAS Convention. Now the SOLAS Convention, SOLAS is an acronym for Safety of Life at Sea. So after the amendment to Chapter 2, to Chapter 11.2, to the SOLAS Convention, ISPS code was created. And this would have applied to all member states of IMO, which is the International Maritime Organization. Now, states had to then, after the introduction of the ISPS code, amend their Maritime Act, which is 7.05, to include the requirements of the ISPS code. We also had to develop regulations, which is number 26 of 2004, to give effect to the code. Because in most cases, you cannot use an international document to, let's say, charge someone in court or whatever the case may be. So states, after signing on to conventions, will always have to develop legislation to support the requirements
Yes.
that are necessary, right? The ISPS code came into effect for all IMO member states in July the 4th of 2004. And this applied to vessels 500 gross tonnage and up, offshore drilling units, and passenger ships on international voyages, and not forgetting port facilities who interface with these vessels. So, everyone at all stages have to be compliant with the ISPS code, because the procedures for each agency have to be met at all levels.
At all levels.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And not finished as yet.
Go ahead, sure.
And you know, this came about based on 9/11. I mean, you might say, well, 9/11 had to do with planes.
Yes.
But you know, if you are going to be attacking me by air, which might be a little more difficult, then the next thing might be the sea.
yes.
And so the ISPS code was implemented, introduced, to ensure that the attacks that we are getting by air do not spill over to the sea.
To the sea.
Yes. So then the ports now, after signing on to these conventions, had to develop port plans and appoint PFSOs, which is the Port Facility Security Officer.
officers.
The ships had to get SSOs, which is the Ship Security Officer, because all of these are requirements. And these persons or entities are responsible for ensuring that all of the provisions of the ISPS code are implemented and met at all times.
Okay. So you're saying that from since 9/11, we now have security officers on board aircrafts and also on boats.
Well, for passenger ships,
Yes.
I'm referring to passenger ships.
Cruise ships, yes, cruise ships.
So each cruise ship must have a ship security officer, which is the head security of that vessel. When that vessel come in port, they will meet with our PFSO,
Our port
port
security.
facility security
Yes.
officer, and they will sign what we call the Declaration of Security. And this is where security levels have to be equivalent. Or, if the ship is operating higher than what St. Kitts Port is operating, that is fine. But no ship can dock here if they're not meeting the standards that we
have
at the
here.
level that we accept here in St. Kitts. So that's
I
where the
got you.
Declaration of Security comes in.
Yes.
That it's like an agreement,
Yes.
so that ship can remain in port and operate.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yes.
Very. Okay. Ports are usually inspected from time to time.
Yes.
What is this inspection about, and who carry out these inspections?
Well, inspections generally are to ensure compliance. And we're speaking about the ISPS code.
Yes.
To ensure compliance with the ISPS code and also the regulation 7.05. Okay, so we have the entity here, which is the Maritime Department, who is responsible for doing inspections and audits of the procedures that we implement here. But that's locally. We also have the PFSO, who is responsible for ensuring that the officers performing duty are performing up to standard.
Yes.
And then, maybe annually, we will have a visit from the U.S. Coast Guard, who will come to check us from an international standpoint to ensure that we are compliant with international standard and that we are implementing the ISPS code as we should. Okay, in terms of the airport, we have been speaking a lot about the seaport.
Yes.
Let's just take a quick switch here. So at the airport, just like the seaport, we have the Civil Aviation Division.
Yes.
And this entity is responsible for doing inspections, tests, audits, and all of that from the aviation standpoint. So they are the regulatory body for civil aviation within St. Kitts and Nevis. Apart from them, we have a quality control department within SCASPA, who is responsible for doing their own internal quality control functions. The same tests, the same inspections, same audits, and so forth.
Okay.
Then we have the ECA, which is the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Organization. And this is the entity responsible for the oversight of civil aviation within the Eastern Caribbean. Then we have TSA. TSA is the Transportation Security Administration, and those are located in the U.S. And the most person would have had dealing with TSA going to the U.S.
Yes.
But they're airport security.
Yes.
And they provide their fund. But they will come to St. Kitts from time to time. And they're only coming because they have flights that are leaving St. Kitts direct to the U.S. So they have to ensure that we are meeting what is required based on our programs and based on international standards.
Wow.
And then we have the big man, ICAO. ICAO is the International Civil Aviation Organization. And this is the entity responsible for civil aviation globally. Okay? So St. Kitts and Nevis signed on to the Chicago Convention, which is a convention by ICAO that deals with aviation security or aviation. And so we have to fulfill our obligations being a signatory to that convention. So but they will come from time to time to do the inspection, well, to do the audits, to ensure that we are meeting what is required of us here. So it's not a one body inspection, it's at all levels. It starts at the airport and it goes straight up to the head.
Yes, you start with yourself first,
to locally,
to
regionally,
internationally, and then to the Chicago.
Yes.
Wow, so that's at least 5 different checkpoints for compliance.
Yes.
How do you manage to get through all this?
Well, it's not difficult. And you know, we have a group of staff who are very dependent. So you know, it's a team effort at the end of the day. It's not one person, it's a team effort at the end of the day. Everyone plays their role and we get through each day safely.
I like the team effort part of it.
Yes.
Because we recognize that no man is an island.
No.
And without everybody playing their respective roles, we can't succeed.
Correct.
Right. GQ, any questions for us?
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to take a break at this moment, get a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be back and open the lines. And, of course, the number to call at that time will be 465-2555. And for those of you in the United States and Canada area, you can call 718-577-2916. That's like an exchange local call for you. Real quick before we get into the break, Best for Less on the Bay Road and Central Street is having a massive sale off up to 20% off on special items store-wide. And that's starting today up to Mother's Day. So please take advantage of the additional VAT reduction rate that's also going to be available for you this coming Friday, April 28th. And keep in mind, extended store hours are 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Best for Less, they have smart TVs priced as low as $800 and air conditioners as low as $1,300. The widest variety of swimming pools, queen and king size mattresses, curtains, kitchen appliance, and furniture, plus more. All available at unbeatable prices at Best for Less. We'll be back right after this.
Today, we see how unpredictable life can be, so let Nagico Insurances help you prepare and safeguard what matters most. We provide solid coverage you can depend on, like life insurance to provide financial security for those you love, medical that covers dental, vision, and preventative care, and auto insurance with comprehensive coverage so you can drive with confidence. For all your insurance needs, visit us at Nagico.com. Nagico Insurances, fast, fair, and always there.
The specials at Domino's are hot for any occasion. Hot right out of the oven. 1 medium, 2 topping pizza, and 2 20-ounce Cokes, only $35. Free Coke with your lunch until 2 p.m. Small, 1 topping school child lunch special, only $14. 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas, and a 2-liter soda, only $69. 2 large, 2 topping pizzas, and a 2-liter soda, only $92. Oh, and the big one, baby. Free large pizza every Tuesday with your favorite 2 for Tuesday special. So, come on down or call and order now and experience our tasty oven-baked goodness. Domino's, the home of satisfaction.
Wow, call Domino's. Now. Oh, yo. I'm waiting.
All right, welcome back to Policing with You. Do you want to go straight to the phone line? We have a call online waiting. Good morning. You're live and lively. Yes, good morning. All right, let's try next call here. Good morning. You're live.
Okay, good morning, Inspector Edwards,
Good morning.
and gentlemen from the ANC group.
Morning.
I saw on the news recently that the largest cruise ship in the world came to St. Kitts. I live in America, and what's the largest plane can land at Robert Llewellyn Bratcher Airport? The largest size plane.
Just
Okay.
speak it, okay.
Hello?
Yes, I'm here. Yes. That very well be a 777.
777.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can't take a 747.
That's an interesting question.
747, the jumbo jet. 747,
Oh no.
and you
We-
can't
we-
take
we-
the 380.
Yeah,
the
we-
380 made by Europe.
Yeah, we may not have enough. The ship may not be long enough to accommodate.
Yeah, the length of the airport.
Yes,
I
yes.
used to work for United Airlines.
Yes.
I
yes.
know about airports.
Yes.
Okay, so that's one of my 2 questions, and congratulations to the Federation.
Thank you.
And I'm native born, and I love listening to all my people back home, and I tune in every Thursday to the show. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
man.
you. Right. Yes, Mr. Jordan, as we continue our
Yes.
conversation, SCASPA has a set of port constables. I know recently some was trained, and I know that there were others who were trained, maybe over 15 years ago.
Yes.
Yes. What are their role at SCASPA, especially at the airport?
Well, they are security officers basically. Back in the day, we were referred to as port constables.
Yes.
Because we had to go through a specific training,
Yes.
and we were sworn in as well by the commissioner.
Yes.
So that gave us, a little more power, so to speak.
Right.
However, it's not everyone would have gone through that process. So some persons are just security officers, while some persons were sworn in, were referred to as port
Port
constables.
constables. Right.
And then we have persons who went to the island constable training as well.
Yes.
So we have a quite diverse group of persons there who can do various roles.
Yes.
But the normal security, but everyone still has the same responsibilities. But some will have a little more power in terms of arrest, issuing tickets, so to speak, because we have tickets being issued at the airport as well for
Okay.
persons parking on the yellow line at the front of the terminal. So yes, but in most cases we are just security officers. The Port Act, which is 8.07, suggests that the port may have a port constabulary force. And to achieve that, everyone will have to go to that training and be sworn in by the commissioner. However, everyone is not sworn in by the commissioner.
commissioner.
So we have port constables in the mix, security officers in the mix, and also island constable in the mix. Yes.
Before you continue, we have a call on the line.
Send them through.
I guess they waited too long. But you can always call back 465-2555. And once again, 718-577-2916. You can continue, Inspector.
Yes. Is there any thrust around the horizon, maybe to regularize all of your security officers, or they don't all fit one category?
Well, I would say they all can fit, right? But that is not something that we have had much discussions about.
Okay.
But for future, maybe But right now, we are quite content with, the levels that we are at
you have.
in terms of who can do what. Because we have enough persons to do each function.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good. And once they are functioning in... Okay. You have a question?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Inspector, and how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Jordan, how are you?
Good morning, sir. I'm doing well.
Yeah, I'm here listening, and I must congratulate you on your promotion. And you were very comprehensive this morning.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
But one of the situations that is occurring on a regular basis is on Saturdays in relation to the space between immigration and your security personnel. And it is becoming a serious issue.
Okay.
So I would like you to speak about what can be done to rectify that situation. And on the arrival, because of all the flights arriving on Saturdays, the international flights in particular, and now that we do not have the COVID protocols in place, that in itself could create a challenge, because if you find sometimes 3-4 flights land just maybe 10-20 minutes apart.
Yes.
So the immigration, I know that they are thinking about taking down the partition that is there.
Yes.
So that might assist. But still the space is a little too small, because you're finding, especially now that we're going into music festival, a lot of these flights going to be coming around the same time. You still have all of these little charter flights in between. So that is something I would like you to talk about. But generally, I was very impressed with your presentation this morning, and I just want to wish you all the best in your future, in your continuation, and you're doing a relatively good job. So thank you very much for listening to me also.
Thank you, sir.
Before you respond, please take some notes. We have another call.
Yes.
You're live. Go ahead. Morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, yeah, on the panel. I just wake up, so I didn't hear from the beginning. But as I go to my phone, I just get a SOS that the people we had here from Haiti, 9 of them get away. Look me, you saw a gentleman just talk it, it's just I was coming to say it, This is to pussyfoot in you let the people dragging the foot. But of course, why we keep them here so long for? When we had them, things done sort out in 2-3 days because they frightened, yes, and we carry them to the doctor to get a test and so to see how their heart going. We should have done ship them back out in other countries and mountains so they don't go back home a long time ago. Right? Because this is not his right to get away now. So me walking in the road, somebody just pull me back. I could say, oh, it's a petition, they ain't got to say nothing, just keep them mouth shut and they do robbery. And me say, oh, it's a black man gone through the bush. Oh, you know who it is. We need to get down hard on this immigration, Lord. I tell you, the last Thursday in the month of April, I tired calling, And I tell you, trying to say what should be done. I didn't went no high school. But as a grassroots person, we got ideas just like you all who went to high school and Cambridge and all the thing and Oxford and them, we got ideas. You get older, you get a little more idea than when you were growing up. Right, and this is the idea, say when anything happens, act accordingly unto his fast. Because it's not right, them people that get away, and we don't know who they be. I beg you all go look for them with an interpreter, You all mean, one or two y'all could talk the French language, but when you go and look for them with an interpreter, please. Because I pass on there, but by the community center, I see guardians, so still. You all still had them.
Oh, okay. We understand your concern. We really do understand your concern, and Inspector will definitely get back to you on that. We have another call on hold. Let's take this next call. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning. I'd just like to say it's a very informative show, and Mr. Jordan and Inspector, it's a great show. I'm enjoying listening. Thank you.
Thank you, caller, for your input. Yes, to address the question they put on by the first caller,
yes,
with reference to the space between immigration and
and the checkpoint.
And the checkpoint, yes. And, what you all intend to do about it.
Well, the space that we operate within is very small.
Yes.
For those persons who have been at the airport, as of recently, we have had an increase in flight as well.
Okay.
And while we are trying to cope with the changes and the influx, You know, we can only do so much with what we have. You know, but we are really trying our best to mitigate the lines. But let us not concentrate much on the lines, but on the quality of the service that we provide, or the quality of the screening. Because if we try to rush our processes, then, you know, the screening might not be done to the level that we need. And then we miss something, and that is detrimental to us here as a state. And so, while I understand the caller's discrepancy, and we are working to mitigate against that, you know, from time to time, you know, there may be a situation where we may have a 1 or 2 lines. But, you know, it's not something that is deliberate, but just because of the parameters in which we are operating.
I understand. Sometimes we really do have to take our time and go through the due processes to avoid any backlash at the end. And with a developing country, yes, we accept that we are getting more flights and all that. And I know that you will try as much as possible to get this situation sorted out. It is not an easy fix, because you're talking about creating space. It is not an easy fix. But once we work with within the confines and everything, I believe that we'll get through. I believe that we'll get through. And sometimes we have to be patient too.
Yes, there's a level of understanding as well, and you know, we're gonna get through.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Which comes, you know, close to our final question. Are there any new implementations that you would want to speak about that you will be putting into practice or in the near future?
Well, just to mention a few, we are trying, you know, tirelessly to enhance, you know, the travel experience of our passengers. And so we're trying to implement fully the Annex 9, which is the annex to deal with facilitation. Now, facilitation deals with the soodless movement of people and cargo through our ports. And so, just like the caller just asked about having the lines, the Annex 9 facilitation program will correct that. Because then we can move out certain things that, you know, can be done via electronic, instead of having a person in that space that takes up more space, and have a kiosk system. So if you're going through immigration, instead of having to go to a booth, you go to the kiosk, you swipe, you're going straight. So in the implementation of the Annex 9, which is the facilitation program, that should bring some ease
to the long
lines. Because you can still have the booths and you have the kiosk. And the kiosk is an addition person, so to speak.
Yes.
So instead of having 10 persons in a line, you have 5 and 5. And that is done quicker than having everyone in a line waiting at a booth.
Right. And I understand the booth, you can't just knock it out, because it's not everybody who is traveling will be able to use the kiosk, and they will need assistance.
So
we have a caller. We have a call on the line.
Yes, please.
Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Good morning to the inspectors and the police officer. I'm not calling in pertaining to your topic this morning, but I'm calling to see if you can give me a little update on how you go about in getting a police record.
You need your birth certificate, you need a photo ID, which is a government ID, or your passport, unexpired passport, that is, and a $10 stamp from the post office. We do not take money, you have to bring a stamp. $10, your birth certificate, a government issued unexpired ID, yes, or an unexpired passport.
But I went there with everything like that, and I was told I cannot be helped.
Was it for you?
No, it wasn't for me.
That's the difference. You see, you did not explain. You did not explain.
No, it's not for me. It's for somebody from the CARICOM Islands.
Well, the person would have had to give you a letter authorizing you to take that criminal record on their behalf.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But it's the person who went themselves, you know, I'm just calling in to find out. The person went in person, they took everything, they took a valid passport, an expired passport, the $10 stamp. They took everything that they told them to bring, and they were told they cannot help them.
I can't say the reason why, because I'm not privy to the person going or anything like that. But maybe you can accompany the person back to the criminal records office to find out exactly what was lacking.
That's a good idea. I was thinking that too.
Okay.
And then I can go from there.
Yes.
And hear what happened. Okay. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You have another call. Well, we lost that call. Let's try this one. Good morning.
Hello, GQ.
Yes, Sonny Boy.
I'm on?
Yes, you are.
Hello, Inspector Edwards.
Good morning.
Yeah, they're calling about the immigrants from Haiti. They don't understand that Haiti is part of CARICOM, and there's a process. Those people coming to St. Some of them might be looking for political asylum, and there's a process they have to go through. Because in America, somebody coming to America illegally, it might take 6 months before they could deport them, because we're a country of laws. And those people don't understand that they have to go through a process before you can send them out or deport them, because that is their rights. And I hope the guy would elaborate on that. You just can't grab somebody and say, you're from here, there, we're going to deport you. We're a country of laws. And I wish the guy could explain that to them. All right, thank you.
Yes, caller, I didn't want to get into that because some people, because of prejudices, they would not want to understand what I was trying to say. So that's why I didn't really answer the caller. But you are correct. There are laws and there is something called due process. And you can't just do things because you feel like it is right to do. Because your feeling does not have anything to do with the law. The law prevails at all times. So.
Let's go back to the line. Good morning, you're live.
Yeah, good morning, GQ.
Yes, Culture.
How you do?
I'm good, man.
Okay, and good morning, the lady there and the gentleman.
Good morning, Culture.
Yes, man, I just hear you say something there. When the person, the lady asked about the police record.
Yes.
Now, suppose a passport expire today, Thursday, and I go tomorrow, Friday, for police record. Because the date given for the year that you're supposed to have the passport, that means the picture gets expired too?
Yes.
The picture?
Yes, because...
How could the picture expire?
Hold on. Remember the picture that you would have taken is 10 years old.
Yeah, but I'm going to show you something.
What?
Suppose I had reached yesterday when the passport itself expired, be the same picture. The picture would be expired too?
Maybe
picture don't expire, you know, miss.
You see, you're mixing up different things. You're speaking about validity of the passport.
Yeah, the validity.
If the passport expires today, it means at midnight it is no longer any good. You can't use it.
Sorry, I can understand the month, the day, and the year.
Yes.
But not a photo worth 1,000 years. That is what I'm trying to show you, you know.
No, because people do change. Sometimes they got hair in their face. Sometimes they're clean shaven. Sometimes they got hair on their head.
Saying, you know,
sometimes they have none. Sometimes they're grey. Sometimes they're black. Sometimes you're fat. Sometimes you're skinny.
Excuse me, with all due respect to you, because if I had reached on the same day when the written words in the passport expired with the same picture, that you're going to look at the picture when I come tomorrow now, because the passport expired yesterday, and you look at me the same face to see. So I don't understand that. Anyway.
Validity is validity, and you can't run away from that.
Thank you for your call, Culture. Let's take this next call. Good morning, you're live.
Good morning. I want to tell the inspector, don't move from her point. Her point is correct. And there's a reason why the passport is you have to take over the picture every 10 years. There's a reason for it. And the inspector is so correct. So Culture is mixing up the whole issue, and inspector, you are so correct.
Yes,
Coming from even from an immigration perspective, there's a reason. Because sometimes that's why I'd always encourage the immigration officers to look at the person in front of you. And sometimes you can even ask the question politely. Because you will see the difference, but there's a certain things you have to look for. But at the end of the day, you have to change. There's a reason why they ask you to change the document every 10 years. So culture is mixing it up all over. But Inspector, you are correct. And
thank you, caller.
You are on the ball. Thank you.
Let's see this next call. Good morning, good life.
Yes, excuse me again. Thumbs up, officer. You're so correct, so true. Because what culture you're looking at. The picture now is stamped over the date to where you get to cheat notice that any passport is stamping now, so you can put another date and a date before. So that's why, and so true, I met a job guy yesterday of TDC, and I said, me along to me, and I adopt him. And I said, by me, I used to put all the license. He said, no, but just look at him, just you. I look like you don't know, I was 75 guy, but you're a young guy to me.
All right.
Some young guy, so you Inspector, you hold your point, I'm agree with you.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you.
We don't have any more calls at the moment.
Thank you, GQ. Right. So you were talking about the Annex 9 and the new feature.
Yes.
I believe that it's a good way to go now.
It is.
We really can't continue to act in the sphere that we are accustomed to. Sometimes we have to adapt to new changes.
Correct.
And look at it at it's doing good because it's cutting down lines. People are empowered to check in and check out themselves, put it that way.
Yes.
And it's a technology as well.
Yes.
So technology do help propel things forward. Right. So
yes, we also was moving towards a one-stop agreement between the U.S. and St. Kitts. Now, what this does is provide an avenue where if you're traveling from St. Kitts and you're connecting from one U.S. port to another, you don't have to get screened again. Now, as we know, if you're traveling, let's say you're going to another U.S. state through Miami, you get to Miami, you have to go and get screened again to catch your connecting flight.
Yes.
So that will be eliminated through that one-stop agreement. So that's something that we are moving forward as well too. SCASPA in connection with the Ministry of the Civil Aviation Division to get this process up and running.
Listen, I could equate with that one stop. I'm telling you, I have had times of trying to connect to flights and the hassle that you go through.
Correct.
And sometimes in the end you still don't make the flight because all these long concourses that you have to go through and different levels, by the time you get there, flight boarding thing done gone already.
Yep.
So
yes, that will definitely be a plus.
Yes, it will be a plus. It will be a plus.
I think it will open up an avenue for more visitors to come to
St. Kitts as well. Yes.
Certain aspect of their checking are going to be eliminated and more soothless, so to speak. We're also looking at the introduction of federal air marshals, so we can have more security on board flights. So those are three of the things that we are looking at right now. To enhance what we do within our port, especially at the airport standpoint.
That is very good.
Yes.
That is very good. I hope that you all get through with that second one.
Yes,
one stop.
Yeah.
I hope that we all get through that because it's really hassle. It's a lot of hassle trying to get through to connecting flights from one state to the next.
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else that you would like to, while we wrap up?
Well,
closing words.
Just to say thank you to my employer, the St. Christopher Air and Support Authority, for affording me this opportunity to come and hear and, just give the public a little insight, a little education, so to speak, as to, what SCASPA does and who we are and the reasons why we're doing what we're doing. So we're not, we're not making up things as we go, as some people may think from time to time.
Yes.
We are regulated. All of our procedures are, mandatory, and the written procedures as well.
Yes.
So, yes, what we're doing are not illegal. With sometimes we have persons maybe a little, irate from time to time because of what they have to go through. But those are written procedures, established procedures, and a must for us to implement. You know, so to the traveling public, I mean, you know, you come to the airport, you know, just adhere to the regulations that we are implementing there, and everything should be fine.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jordan. And from our end, in wrapping up now, I would like to say thank you very much for taking the time off from work and for your bosses to allow you to be here to share with us lots of information regarding SCASPA. I truly enjoy speaking with you, and some of the things that you would have mentioned in terms of the ISPS code and the various stages of compliance, all of those entities, the local, regional, international, and then the global one. I know that these measures could be very stringent because people want to make sure that when their people come to your shows that they are safe.
Correct.
And they will put a lot of measures in place to make sure that this happens. So I am very thankful for you being here and sharing this information with us. Policing with You is here every Thursday morning from 9:15 a.m. and we do bring a lot of interesting guests who have knowledge to impart to you, and we do solicit all of the callers, all the persons that call in. You make our show, and we continue to do so. We ask you to continue to do so every week so that we could converse with you and we can share information with you. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Why all the segregation? We all are but one nation. Oh, let us unite as one. Let us unite as one.
NHC is helping you to pay less in 2023. Having difficulties keeping up to date with your mortgage? Make an appointment to speak with your account manager today and learn how you can pay less.